Yeah. If you're like me, you love to travel, explore, do road trips, but don't really enjoy spending the time to plan for it. And if you're always worrying that, hey, I'm going to miss this hidden gem, then you're in the right place. Because I'm going to introduce to you Triptimize, Trip Optimize. It's a next generation AI powered road trip planner designed to optimize your travel experience and help you explore more and drive less. So, what is this Triptimize? Well, it's an intelligent chatbot built as a capstone project for the Kaggle 5D Generative AI course that is led by Google on the Kaggle platform. It leverages cutting edge technologies like LangChain, LangGraph, Google Maps API, and Gemini LLM to help users plan custom optimal road trips and routes and itineraries. So, whether you're embarking on a 5 day or a multi day cross country trip, adventure, or exploring new city, Triptimize is your digital copilot. Now, you can ask me, why build another bot? There's so many already. Well, if you've noticed, bots are, they actually do a pretty good job, decent job of creating itineraries. The only catch is someone should have had done the same exact route or gone to those places from one to place one to place two in that order for it to be able to provide you a route. Otherwise, it could hallucinate and give you, instead of a straight route, it might give you like a star or something like that. Basically, a lot of extra driving and less exploring, right? So, how did we make Triptimize better? First, by directly integrating with the Google Maps Direction API to optimize waypoint order, ensuring the most efficient travel path, using retrieval augmented generation to generate detailed itineraries grounded in real map data, not just web scraped travel blogs, checking weather festivals and events for your travel dates so your plans are always up to date and personalized. Now, before we get too deep into it, let's do a quick demo. So right here, let's do this one more time. Let's get it started. All right. So it's, in order to start, it needs one thing, which is a start, end, and a duration. So let's say we say start from London, end in Leeds, and a 5 day trip, right? So it takes that and then decides, okay, let's give these options. So let's say it likes Cambridge, Nottingham, Beacon. Let's say we look at these links that it's provided us, go through them, we like them, and say, hey, let's add that. Okay. So let's say we did that for all of those locations, and I say add all. My system is a little bit slow. Anyway, sorry about that. So let's say it added that. Um, some more options. And let's add all three. Okay. So it's added it. And sure, optimize it. So it did the optimizing, as you can see. It changed the order based on the most optimal path. And it also gave us the list, the itinerary of how you want to spend your time over here. Okay. And let's say we like it. And it also tells us, okay, where to have dinner and all that. That's great. So let's say we love this. Love this. So I don't have a date. I'm happy. So Perfect. Now that we have the itinerary, I set travel dates. Then set no travel dates yet. Okay. Sure. Okay, so it goes and checks for festivals, etc., and it came back with a huge list. And let's say we decide that hey, we're going to go in July. So good for us. Now that we have finalized the itinerary and some ideas for events, would you like me to send this itinerary to your email? Yes, please. Yes. And great. Please provide your email address. Okay. So I did that. Looks like it sent me the list. And here's the itinerary starting from London through Cambridge, Leicester, and York and Leeds. I don't know how to say that word. But anyway, so going back to this, so now that we've seen how it works, oh, there must have been an email as well. So let's go and check the email. I think you might have to go refresh. Like, well, it's perhaps taking a little while. This was 40 minutes ago. Go back. Oh, it came now. Yeah, my machine is a little slow. All right, so just whatever it told us is over there. It's the same thing as over here. And this is what it did before and before that. So pretty consistent in the way it presents stuff. Now let's do one thing. Let's go ahead. Yeah, so let's kind of dig a little bit deeper into the code. And let's start with this diagram. So I'm using the land graph, and you have the chatbot, which presents the model. The human interface, that's the node. Human node is where whatever the chatbot said, the human says on the screen and gets user input. Planner is where all the work gets done. And you have these solid edges and the dotted line edges. These are the conditional ones, and these are the solid edges, which tells you, okay, if something happens in Planner, it does something, some action, the control will go to chatbot. So whatever happens here, right after it goes here. So that's how the orchestration happens. Now, when I say the Planner is doing something, what is it doing on? It's basically on the state object. State is the first thing that we define. And then that gets passed around, and based on which decisions are made, so function calls are made and things like that. So what all functions calls did we add here? We added the Google Maps API, the send email, and also the regular search, the grounding, search grounding. And let's go up here. So whatever I just kind of said is all written over here, defining the state and the graph elements. Then you have, this is where I define the state. I think we're calling it the trip state, state schema of all of the parameters that are required to define the journey, right? And then this is the prompt, telling it what to do and what not to do and things like that. And give it like a one single shot. I could have given multiple shots also, um, of telling it how to kind of say it. Not that it listens to me always. It does listen to me if it's a single day thing. And then here's a welcome message. Then you have the tools and tool bindings. So basically, there's a concept in LangGraph that the actual implementation is done inside the node. That's where the work happens. But the stubs are created outside, and then those are bound to the LLM so that LLM knows that these are the functions that are available to it and it can call. Okay. So let's do any example. Let's say set start date. So it sets the start date. Looks like it returns nothing. So if you look for set start date here, this is the planner. So these are the other two nodes. So there's a planner. Let's say if you look for set start date right here, it gets the start date from as a parameter coming through the tool call object. It has the argument, single argument, and that it sets in the start date, start address. And in this case, it just kind of says, okay, here's the start address, right? Um, so that's kind of how it works. This is the route optimizer. This is the one that actually calls the Google Maps API. Yep. But what I did was I actually kept the actual function somewhere else, so that I could test it easier. And also, these are the edges. We talked about the conditional edges, right? So it says if this is the state, then this is how you go, whether you go to planner, human, or end, things like that. And then you also have the solid edges, like the add edge, like this planner to chatbot, the one that I was talking about. Now, this is how you actually build the graph. And the graph is how you orchestrate. And that's basically the secret sauce. What the model does is provides the intelligence. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult for us to code all of that, all the intelligence piece. So it kind of guides, it's the brain. It guides everything else. You just have to give it the input and it accordingly knows, okay, what function to call and depending on how it interacts with the user, right? That's all there is. Um, well, this is the last part, which is basically I'm creating an HTML map and then within which I did actually um, in the actual implementation of the Google Maps thing where I took the points and added to the graph, the basically the map, right, as a layer. All right, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you one interesting thing that happened this afternoon. So while I was testing this thing, right, um, I noticed that the bot was not fully listening to me, and that actually happens sometimes. Even if you, no matter what you do, it sometimes just doesn't listen. So, so and I could tell because I actually put some debug statements, so that's how I know that it didn't do something. So I said, okay, let me do a little experiment. Let me charge the bot that it didn't do something. So I did that. I said, hey, I think this step was missed. So the bot then responds to me in first person. No, I did that step. And I explained to the bot that, hey, based on this printouts, I can know that that has not been done. So the bot goes, oh, you're right. I missed it. As if it has emotion, human being, right? And then, but right after that, I noticed that it was like a moment for the bot because it wasn't happy. And then it didn't show me the links with every location that it was showing me, right? So I charged it, hey, how come you're not like these links, right? So I asked it, how come you're not showing me links? Because, oh, I cannot show you the links because Google search is not working. Anyway, it's felt for a moment as if the bot actually had an emotion. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Please like and upvote my project. Thank you. Bye bye.